So, we have had some progress since episode 1. And also, like, hi, welcome to episode 2. I kind of forgot that bit. But if you haven't watched episode 1, go check it out. We are doing a series that we are calling Project Tyranitar. And it kind of is exactly what it says on the tin. We are collecting every single Tyranitar in English and Japanese. And Pupitars. And Larvitars and Iron Thorns. So I guess actually it's probably more than it says on the tin. But I digress. We have started doing some of the legwork in getting this series working. That makes sense, right? One of the big things I did last time was I took all of the cards out of the binder. So all of my Larvitars, Pupitars, Tyranitars, Iron Thorns were now out of the binder that I'd been collecting them in. And that explains why there's like a hot amount of mess behind me, including my binder that previously I had all my Tyranitar cards in. But if you look now, I'll show this one. If you look now, look, we have Tyranitar. Oh, those are Larvitars. We have Larvitars, and in between them, you might not be able to see very clearly, but I have a penny sleeve with the name of the Pokemon, which, I mean, I do know the names of the Pokemon, but it helps when I'm looking through the... It makes sense. But we have the name of the Pokemon, the set that it's from, the card number, and what version of the card it is. So for example, in slot number 3, I have got the Japanese version of the Japanese Near Discovery card, the common normal version of the Near Discovery, but I haven't got the first edition. So this sleeve, it goes in that slot, and when I get that card, I'll just turn the sleeve around, put the card in it, bosh. And you know, I've done it for a good few. Like, you know, if you have a look up to maybe like the 9th page, there are well over 100 of these Larvitars that I haven't got yet, and writing those sleeves took me a long time because I have to find the cards, find the name of the set, find the card number, because a lot of the pictures online, it's quite blurry or the numbers are very small and it's really hard to see. And then I have to make sure I have all of the different editions and iterations of the card also written on it, because it's all well and good for me to just write the cards and stuff, but if I haven't got the reverse holo but I have the holo and the common, then it helps to write reverse holo, otherwise I'm just asking for cards that I already have. So the plan will be, I'll keep writing those penny sleeves, and this will get updated further and further beyond the like first 8 or 9 pages that I've done. And I know a lot of people often will like include that process in the video, but when I'm spending like an hour or two a night doing it, and like I didn't want to film that over like a time lapse for like a week or so, because I kind of wanted to get the video out before I would have achieved that goal. So you're welcome. But what it has done is allow me to realize a few gaps and things that I had currently in the binder. And I went and actually visited a little card shop in a town not too crazy far from where I'm at, and I'm not going to dox myself just yet, but it's a card shop that I'd never been to, and they had some cards, and I actually picked up 3 new hits for the binder, but I'll show you those in a minute, because I have a bunch of hits that I picked up over a bunch of different things, and I'll show you them all at once. Plus, full transparency, I haven't sorted out the sections of the binder that these would go into yet, so that's embarrassing on my part. But I wanted to use part 2 to kind of also explain maybe a couple of different things that then are going to happen over the next episode or 2, because I've kind of got small ideas of where this is going to start, but very soon from now, I'm not in the country. So I'm trying my best to sort of get some bits done, get some bits filmed before I just disappear for a couple of weeks. So between now and me leaving the country, I want this binder to be as ready as possible so that when I return, we can just crack on, because the work that needed to be done to get this ready is done. But before we cut to, basically, I went to another card shop with some friends and picked up some stuff and filmed a little bit, but not loads. I want to share a story about one particular Larvitar that is going to be an absolute pain to get hold of. Previously, I thought one of the most difficult Tyranitars and Larvitars and Pupitars that I was going to be able to get was the Japanese McDonald's promo, where Larvitar sat nice and sweet and eating a rock like it's a Big Mac, which, now that I think about it, kind of is, I imagine, is the point of the McDonald's promo, right? I thought that was going to be very difficult to get hold of. It's relatively expensive. It's like 120 to 160, depending on like where you're buying it from, how much they're selling it for, postage, that kind of stuff. Plus, it's not a card that I see crazy often in a condition that I'm also like happy to pick it up in. Quite a few I see have like creases or folds and stuff, and although like this is all a binder copy, it's all for personal collection, when I'm spending that much on a card, I don't really want to get like a damaged one. I want to get one that's at least in like light play and above, because it's an expensive card. I know there are cards that are like thousands. I haven't got that kind of money to splash on cardboard at the moment, but 100 plus card, expensive card. Plus, I've just realized this whole time, have they been off this entire time? I would fix it, but that's a future time problem. I ain't doing that right now. I digress. Larvitar. There is a Larvitar that has specifically labeled the Donald Duck magazine promo Larvitar. Yeah. This is a card that was exclusively released in a, believe it or not, Donald Duck magazine that was released in, I believe, Netherlands, and I think it was somewhere in Scandinavia. It might have been Sweden, but hopefully Future Tom maybe puts this on the screen, because I did forget. But this card was exclusively released in like episode or like volume number 49 of this magazine, and they just sort of chucked a Larvitar card in there because why not? However, in doing that, they've made a really expensive, hard to get Larvitar that I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to find. And then when I do find it, I can only imagine how much it's going to cost. Plus, if you kind of partner that up with the fact that it looks identical as far as I'm aware, there is no actual stamp or difference in the card itself to the regular version of that Delta series, I think it is, or Delta species Larvitar card. So I imagine people could just claim it's from that, and it might not be. I don't know. I've seen a single listing of it and it was like over £300. And again, I looked at the card as best I could see no differences. Nothing. So that one is very much going to go in the binder, as it will have a space. God knows when, how, or if I'll end up getting it. But I mean, we'll try. The Project Tyranitar, guys, we'll try. However, I do digress a little bit. As I said before, I did actually go to a card shop today. And I was planning on going and like filming a little bit beforehand, going in, filming some stuff, and then coming out and like sort of showing everything that I got and what have you. But I think there was some kind of like event or thing today. It's in like this little enclosed area, and it's a really lovely shop. It's one that I go to quite often because they've always got like nice things that I can look at. They've always got like Tyranitars, Larvitars, Pupitars that I can at least see and like work out prices for, and sort of start working out when I'm gonna add those to the binder. Basically, they're also lovely in there. The staff in there are genuinely so good, and they're actually the place that anytime I buy sealed, for me, like I've been really enjoying the Chinese stuff recently, so getting the Chinese gem packs or just like the Chinese versions of sets, so like the Chinese version of Obsidian Flame, Super Electric Breaker, or God, I forgot what it's called in English because Surging Sparks, I got there. And the brand new Chinese set that is like a combo of Journey Together and Destined Rivals. So yes, we did buy a box of that today. And actually, myself, Claire, and our good friend Willow, shout out to Willow, because I know for a fact, Willow, I'm probably on in the background somewhere, and I appreciate you. We went, not halves, we went thirds on one of those boxes, 2 packs each, just to see what we got. So I will play those clips on the video now, and you guys can just have a little look as to what we got. Nothing to do with Project Tyranitar other than the fact that it was in a card shop, they're Pokemon cards, and we bought them. So enjoy the packs. And welcome back to Project Tyranitar episode 2. Like I say, I wanted to go and film in there, but I think there was some kind of event on and there were loads of kids. And I firstly didn't feel crazy comfortable with having my phone out and filming a bunch of things. Secondly, it was quite loud. There were lots of kids. But also, these are kids that parents and they also might not want to be online, so I didn't really feel comfortable getting my phone out and filming a bunch of different things with the chance of there being loads of kids in there. So you'll see a couple of little bits of footage and a couple of like showing some of the screens. What is that what you call it? Cases, that's what people call them, the cases with some of the Spenia cards. And then just flicking through a binder or two as well, just to have a look at what was there. Plus, they have so much bulk. Their bulk boxes are unreal. And every time I go there, I look through the binders, see what they've got. I look through the bulk and see what they've got. And I always have a great time. How much of a great time, I hear you ask? Well, this much of a great time. Now, some of this stuff is for me and the personal collection and a couple of cards for Project Tyranitar right here. But also a couple of cards that are for the whatnot. So cards that I can buy in a bundle, in a big like bulk batch. They do a bit of a deal on it, and it means that I can sell it for market price on whatnot. So it kind of all works out pretty well in that I'm helping them get rid of cards that people aren't always really going in looking for, but also they do me a nice deal because I go in there and buy quite a lot, and also it means that I can then sell it for a fair price online. Everyone's happy, no one misses out. I think it works quite nicely, so genuinely shout out to them because they're super sound. But it means that I didn't get to film all of the cards that I was picking up. However, I did pick up quite a few, and a good chunk actually are for Project Tyranitar. I'm actually now going to count them so that I can outwardly say how many I bought. And I believe I picked up 5 picks from there. And 5 might not sound like loads of hits, but when you add that to the 3 that I'd also picked up from, where did I say? Oh, the other card shop that I went to before. It means that we actually got 8 cards from the trip out today. But there's more, because on top of that, 4 more cards that we actually traded with Willow. Willow has got back into like Pokemon card collecting recently, and yeah, it was very much going to be a day where we were like, hey, come join us going to the card shop, you'll have a great time. And then Willow said, also, just so you know, I got some stuff for your Tyranitar. Let me know if you need any of these. And literally all 4 of the cards that Willow showed me, I needed. So we did a little trade. I know there were a couple of cards that Willow was after, plus then I let Willow look through my AR bundles and like all of my stuff that she may or may not need, because Willow is doing an AR card for every single Pokemon that exists. So yeah, good luck, you're crazy. But we found a trade that we were both happy with, and it means that our total for cards to add to the Project Tyranitar for today is 12, which is genuinely a really good dent. And I believe this takes us over the 100 collected so far mark, so we're not doing bad. But I've talked about the cards enough now. Let's have a look at them. Okay, so let's start off with the Larvitars that we've added today. We've added 4 new Larvitars to the set, and we have started off here with the Prismatic Evolutions Pokeball Holo, which means I'm fairly sure that we actually finish all of the Prismatic Evolution Larvitars. So very, very happy about that. Thank you, Willow, for these trades here as well. And obviously, this is a combination of trades from Willow and pickups from the 2 stores. So very happy indeed. Thank you very much. Then we have got the regular Fates Collide, which I don't think I had any of the Fates Collide. I think this is the first of this artwork that we have got. And as you can see, I got it for a little bit cheaper because there's a little bit of marking, but I can probably clean that off. But yeah, pretty happy with that one. Then after that, I am very, very happy with this. Aquapolis, the regular version, the non-first edition. Really, really happy with this pickup. Again, for a really nice price. Cannot complain about that. But just a really good pickup. And again, I do love this style. I love all the E-Series stuff. Like, I think it's just so, so cool. So really happy to add that one in too. And as you can see, the English Obsidian Flames for the Larvitar here as well. So very happy now, because that means that I have got both of the art rares that Larvitar has. This is the only one that he's got, and I've got it in English and in Japanese. So I no longer need to look for this card. If I want to get the Chinese, then I might do if I've got space for it, because obviously it's his only AR that he has. But I've got it. I'm a happy chap. Okay, now we go on to our Pupitar editions, and we only have 3 new Pupitar editions today, but we start off with the Crossing the Ruin, I want to say the original Pupitar maybe? I can't remember, but very, very early on. This is old back, it is vintage. Very happy with that, as you can see, got it for £2. But yeah, really happy with this, great edition, and I have it in English. I think it's now just the first edition that I'm missing for it. And then I think this design is done. Very happy indeed. Then you can see here, we've got the, I want to say this is Dragon Frontier. I picked this up in the first shop that I went to. Again, really happy with it. It's a pretty cool card. It is damaged. He did sell it to me very, very cheap because it is a damaged card. But again, when it's like that, and I think this card cost me £1, I don't mind it too much. Maybe down the line, if I find a nicer one, maybe I'll swap it out. But overall, I can't complain about that. Again, it's a good addition. And then we've got ourselves a Scarlet and Violet promo here. Number 120, you can see there is a little cheeky swirl there. Not that I'm overly fussed about having a swirl or not, but to get a promo card for Pupitar, very happy with that indeed. Again, it's another good one to add in. But yeah, Scarlet and Violet promo, got it, mate. Only the one new Iron Thorns edition, and that is the regular Iron Thorns EX from Twilight Masquerade. I had it in Japanese. I didn't have it in English apparently, but now we do. And we have got ourselves 4 new Tyranitars for the collection as well. The first one, I genuinely can't believe I didn't have it. I was going through bulk boxes and I was just, anytime I saw a Tyranitar, Pupitar, Larvitar, I just put them to the side, have a little look through my binder to see if I've got them, and then I just put them back in the box if I've already got them. But we start off here with the Paldean Fates, I believe it is, just regular holo. Apparently I didn't have it, so now we do. I have it in Japanese, and I think I had it in Chinese in a couple of styles, but didn't have it in English. Now we do. Nice simple one that I didn't have somehow. We have the full art version of the Tyranitar EX from Obsidian Flames. Another one I'm very happy to have picked up. Again, I think I have it in Chinese, so to have got it in English, thank you, Willow. Very, very happy with that. Another good one to add in. I do really like this design as well. I know some people aren't crazy fond of these, but I really like this. Big fan. Then we have a stamped one. Again, this is from Willow. Thank you, Willow. The Prismatic Evolutions stamped Tyranitar EX. Really happy to have picked this up as well. And you can see a slight little spoiler for maybe the last card that we picked up today. We got a lot of English today, actually, now that I realise it. But yeah, really happy with this. Again, I do love getting the stamped ones. It means I'm sort of getting those out the way, a lot of them, because they're ones I was a little bit nervous about finding. But one that I wasn't nervous about finding because it had been there for a little while in the store. I'd seen it in Japanese at the store, and now I've picked it up in English. Got them both from the same place, my regular card shop, but managed to pick up the Tyranitar GX. Very, very happy indeed. And again, they did me a little deal because the label on it, they were like, yeah, we priced that a little while ago. We'll recomp it and have a look at prices again. So they were willing to come down on the price and meet like the market price that it's at now. So yeah, really happy with that. Very, very happy indeed. And again, another real solid addition to the binder, one that I'm really, really happy I've been able to make. So yeah, not a bad little haul today. So I feel like this episode is going to be a little bit more short and sweet than the last episode, and that's mainly because I'm having to sort of fit a little bit of lots of things in to try and like make sure that I can get episodes out often enough before I go away. Plus, I did plan on having a good chunk of this video be me filming at the shop, but because again, like I said, there were lots of little ones and I just thought it's maybe not the vibe today, and I just wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that. Some parents might not have been overly thrilled about it. Plus, you know, a lot of kids don't want to be on camera, which fine. I don't want to film them. Ugh. Why have I made that sound so much weirder than it is? So apologies if this is maybe a slightly shorter and a bit more condensed video, but hopefully that makes sense as to why. But before I end, huge thank you to those who suggested just writing the card names and stuff on the sleeves. I know there were a couple of people that suggested it on Whatnot. I think Sales did. I think Willow also mentioned it, and there might have been other people too. So thank you very much for that suggestion, because I think it's going to save me a lot of time and a lot of effort. Plus it means the paper that I was going to use, that I'm like, is sort of paper that I need to reuse in some way, because otherwise it's a big old waste. I found other things that I can use that for, so it's a win-win. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and very, very, very excited for episode 3, because if something that I think is going to happen happens by episode 3, we have a really, really fun segment, and probably will be majority of the video in episode 3. So I'm very excited about it. I can't wait, and keep your fingers crossed that it is what happens in episode 3, because it'll be a whole lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be able to add a bunch of stuff to the binder. But for now, guys, thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome. We'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands. Take care, guys. Project Tyranitar, episode 2, done.